Have you ever wanted to create your own Star Wars lightsaber hilt, but CAD and time has always been in your way? What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Nick, and in today's video, I'm going to be showing you a streamlined workflow that takes you from a simple idea to a complete hilt design that you can actually 3D print. And I've got the proof sitting right here. This ancient Bantha hilt is supposedly pulled from the ruins of Tatooine. I don't know if it's true or not, but the guy that told me was a pretty shady looking dude. My hilt has a curved profile, a brass and bone vibe, and a bunch of little details that would have taken a ton of time to model cleanly by hand. I'll walk you through the entire process step by step, show you the simple template that I built, and how it can generate the hilt that you've always wanted to create. And then a complete workflow that takes you from design to 3D print. Now before we jump in, real quick, if you're enjoying these AI to 3D printing videos, do me a quick favor, drop a comment down below letting me know. Hit that like button. Just a simple, hey Nick, I love what you're doing, goes a long way. It helps guide what I focus on next and puts these videos in front of a lot more people that are into this kind of workflow. I really appreciate it and will be forever in your debt. Also, a quick heads up, before we get going, I put together a downloadable PDF guide that goes way deeper into what we can cover into one video. It has over 500 templates, ideas, and pre-filled prompts that will help keep you busy for months. I designed the entire thing myself and spent a lot of time building it specifically for this workflow. So if you want to jumpstart this workflow, I highly recommend grabbing that PDF and the link will be down below. Now, I'm sure you're all wanting to see some designs. So I'm going to quickly show you what this workflow can create. Every one of these started with the same template and the same process you're about to see. You'll notice they all have very different personalities, different shapes, different proportions, and even different design language. But they're all clean and they're all structured. And most importantly, they're all designed in a way that actually translate into a physical print. As these are all cycling through, keep an eye on how the sections are broken up. That structure is intentional and it's going to matter later. All right, I hope that's got you excited. Let's go ahead and move on. Now, before I show you the master prompt, I want to zoom out for just a second and walk you through the entire process from start to finish. That way you understand where this fits and why each step matters. The workflow starts in Nano Banana. We use what I call the master prompt that has 3 template slots that need to be filled in. First, we start with a hilt shape profile and give it a description or an idea. Next, we choose a Star Wars species or race. That will give us more direction for the style. And finally, the last part is where you really hone in on any specifics. This is where we add our features. Now, if you're already getting overwhelmed by all of this, don't worry. The PDF gives you a ton of features, a full list of species and droids, and a huge list of shape profiles as well. I have tested hundreds of these and generated some of the most amazing hilts that I've ever seen. The iteration of my prompt is on version number 5, and I'm super happy with where it's at right now. Once we land on a design direction that we like, we add in our details into the prompt and have Nano Banana let it generate. After it's complete, you can use Nano to iterate the design, try out another combination, or move on to the next step if you like your output. Now there's one more step that I performed that really pushes this workflow into the next level, but you have to wait on those details until later. Trust me, it makes this process so much easier. Next, it's time to bake our design and turn it into a 3D model. Triple 3D will take our image and convert it into a 3D model ready for 3D printing. The next step, we bring it into our slicer, watch our hilt design come alive, and that's the full loop. Idea, design, refine, convert, and print. And once you understand that flow, the master prompt we're about to look at makes much more sense. And here's the prompt. A flat front orthographic profile view of a fully assembled custom lightsaber hilt, centered on a solid, pure white studio background. The hilt is designed modularly as separate physical components that assemble together, including an emitter, upper body, grip section, control section, and pommel. Although shown fully assembled, each section must remain visually and structurally distinct, with clear termination points and subtle separation lines that indicate real-world assembly. The primary structure features template slot number 1, hilt shape profile, silhouette, and is specifically designed for a slot number 2, species, incorporating their native materials, cultural aesthetics, and ergonomic needs. Prominent details include slot number 3, specific features, distributed intentionally across individual sections. Flat, even studio lighting, front orthographic view only, technical illustration style combined with photorealistic materials. ultra high resolution, sharp focus. Now that you've seen the master prompt, let's break it down. The goal here isn't just to understand what each part does, but why the prompt produces designs that work well later in the workflow. A flat front orthographic profile view of a fully assembled custom lightsaber hilt, centered on a solid, pure white studio background. This opening line does a lot of work right away. By using an orthographic view, we're completely removing the perspective distortion. Nothing closer looks bigger, nothing farther away looks smaller. Everything stays true to scale. The pure white background removes all visual noise, no shadows hiding transitions, no lighting tricks, no background elements influencing the design. The AI can now focus on the structure of the hilt. The hilt is designed modularly as separate physical components that assemble together. This line is intentional, and it's one of the most important parts of the prompt. Even though we're showing the hilt fully assembled, we're telling the AI to think in terms of individual parts. That modularity is there by design, and it serves a very specific purpose later in the workflow. The primary structure features a hilt-shaped profile silhouette is specifically designed for a species. These are separated on purpose. The hilt-shaped profile defines the overall silhouette before any details are added. Is it slim or bulky, straight or curved, minimal or aggressive? Then the species acts as a style filter. By specifying a species, you're tapping into the built-in Star Wars design language. Materials, proportions, and ergonomics all shift automatically without having to spell everything out. Prominent details include specific features distributed intentionally across individual sections. This is where you lock in anything that absolutely needs to be there. Emitter details, crystal chambers, grip textures, control elements. The goal is distribution, not overload. Flat, even studio lighting. No perspective distortion, front orthographic view only, technical illustration style combined with photorealistic materials. This keeps the image clean, readable, and usable later in the workflow. Now that you understand how the prompt is doing the work, let's actually put it to use. But before we run the prompt, I want to quickly break down how a lightsaber hilt is structured. Most hilts, no matter the style, are built on the same core sections. At the top, you have the emitter. Below that is the upper body. Next is the grip section, then the control section, and finally the pommel. Once you start thinking in terms of these sections, the rest of the workflow makes a lot more sense. Now let's actually run the prompt and see what we get. At this point, I'm not trying to be clever or experimental. I'm just filling in the template with a clean set of inputs, letting the system do what it's designed to do. Once the image generates, the first thing I'm looking at is the structure. Now, if I'm not 100% happy with what is generated, we can fix that by iterating our design. So let's go over that next. Now, iteration is about making small intentional changes. If you don't like something, tell Nano to change it. That is the whole reason I chose Nano for my image generation. Most of the time, it does what I need, which is better than I can say for many AI image generation models. If the shape feels off, adjust the hilt shape profile. If the style feels wrong, change the species. If something specific is missing, tweak the feature list. Or if you're on the wrong path, refill in the template slots with new details and try again. The slots make it easy to generate millions of combinations. Here are a bunch of cool designs that I generated by randomly filling in the template slots. I hope that these can inspire you to create something really cool. Now, earlier I mentioned there is still a piece of the workflow that we need to go over, so let's dive into that now. So we settled on a design you like. This is where the modularity of our prompt pays off. Even though the hilt was shown fully assembled, it was designed as individual components from the start. This is the way that I designed the master prompt to create our hilts. After spending hours and hours testing my prompt and making adjustments, this made the most sense. We need to keep all the components of the hilt while noting where each of the parts can be separated and make a way better 3D print experience. At this point, I take the final image and run a simple explode view prompt. Exploded view of the hilt showing all its components, emitter, upper body, grip, control section, pommel, all separated in line. Maintain original design on a pure white background. This gives us an opportunity to create a 3D model with Tripo that will be separated into parts, making it much easier to 3D print, especially for a very complex design. Now, this may be a bit confusing because why can't we just easily split our model into parts with Bamboo Studio using the cut tool? Well, if you plan to print your model in full color like I did, the second you use that cut tool, you lose your color mapping. So to overcome this hurdle, we split it beforehand. Now, this is where it becomes a decision on your part. If you feel the design of your hilt is complex, consider using the prompt to separate it into parts. This will make the 3D printing process much easier. If you prefer the single print, which is totally fine, then skip the exploded view step. All right, guys, a quick shameless reminder here. If you want to follow along without reinventing the wheel, the PDF has over 500 templates, ideas, and pre-filled prompts built specifically for this workflow. It's the same system I'm using here, so if you want to jumpstart this workflow, I highly recommend grabbing that PDF. And also, if you end up designing a hilt using this workflow, I would love to see your designs. Send me an email with your name, your YouTube username, and the image you generated. If I get enough submissions, I'll put together a follow-up video showcasing some of the designs that I get. All right, now that we've gone through the entire process in detail, let's quickly run through the entire workflow. We're starting in Gemini using Nano Banana. Click the Create Image button. I'm going to randomly pick one of the pre-filled master prompts and generate a fully assembled lightsaber hilt. Once that image is generated and I'm happy with the results, I take that assembled hilt image and run a second prompt to explode it into separate parts. This is where you decide if you want to print your hilt as one part or separate. The prompt is simple. All it does is separate the hilt into its components: the emitter, upper body, grip, control section, and pommel. Now, don't be alarmed if you don't get every part of your hilt separated, because most of the time it will not. 3 or 4 parts is perfectly fine. I have adjusted this prompt a few times and this is the most reliable. Once the explode view is generated, download the image. The exploded image is what we'll use for our 3D conversion. Next, we need to head over to Tripo 3D. This is where we convert our image into a 3D model. If you don't already have an account, you can create one. I'll include an affiliate link in the description if you want to use it. It helps support the channel. Alright guys, in my last video there were a couple different questions on pricing for Tripo 3D, so I thought I'd go over that real quick. There are 3 different paid tiers to choose from: Pro, Advanced, and Premium. The Premium gets you 25,000 credits per month and the Professional plan gets you 3,000 credits per month. I think that most of us will be just fine with the Professional plan. Now, there are 2 ways you can pay. There's a monthly and an annual fee. So the annual plan basically gives you a $5 discount per month. If you would like to follow along with my workflow, you need to get at least the Professional plan. I have a discount code which you can use. It's Tripo Crew, and that will get you a 60% discount on your first month, which brings you down to about $8 to get started. Once logged in, open Tripo Studio, and to generate our model, go into the 3D workspace here at the top. Inside the 3D workspace, upload either your complete hilt image or your exploded hilt image. Next, make sure Ultra Quality is turned on, then generate the 3D model. It will run for about 10 minutes and give you a full color 3D model. Make sure to look around your entire model to make sure that there isn't anything completely off. If you do happen to notice something isn't matching, you can run a retry and it will regenerate the model again. Once the model is finished processing and everything looks good, click the export button here at the bottom. In order to export your full color model, make sure you use the format OBJ. Give your hilt a name. Next, turn on bottom center pivot, which will position your hilt correctly in Bamboo Studio, and then turn on export vertex colors, which is where we'll include the color map with your model. Your model will download in a zip file, so you need to extract that before moving on. Next, open up Bamboo Studio. We're going to import our hilt. The first thing I like to do is go over to the Project Filaments panel and remove all filaments except for one. Change that remaining filament to white, and I'll explain why in just a moment. Click Add button and locate your extracted OBJ file. Once you import it, you'll see an Object Import Color window pop up. Change the number of colors from 32 down to 4. This removes a lot of unnecessary gradient and shading colors from your model. Click Append and then click OK. If you see an Object Too Small warning window, just click Yes. Next, select your model and press S on the keyboard so that we can scale it. You can always resize it later to fit your preferred size. Now you're going to see 5 filaments in the filament menu over on the left. 4 of them are being applied to your model. Remove the first white filament that was there by default. Next, I like to spend a lot of time optimizing the colors on my hilt. There will be a lot of random color specs throughout your hilt, but don't worry, there's an easy way to fix this. Click on your model, then open up the paint tool. Next, select the gap fill tool, which is the last tool here in the list. As you slide the triangle to the right, you'll notice tiny color specks starting to disappear. This helps reduce unnecessary color changes and waste. Keep adjusting the slider until you're happy with the results. Now, you might lose a little bit of detail, and that's perfectly fine. You can always paint details back in manually. Spending a little time cleaning up your paint job goes a long way in the final print. If you exploded your hilt, you can now separate each part in Bamboo Studio for proper print orientation. Up here in the menu, use the Split to Objects button, and now your hilt is completely separate. Set up proper orientation, use your favorite print settings, and let it rip. I hope that this quick overview was helpful for understanding the workflow. And that's the entire workflow, from a simple prompt to a clean exploded design to a full color 3D model ready to print. If you want to follow along step by step without guessing, the full prompt pack and workflow guide is linked down below, and that's the same system that I'm using here. If you decide to use Trippo, the affiliate link will also be down below. You don't have to use it, but it does help support the channel. It lets me keep making these kinds of deep dive workflows. If you end up creating a hilt with this process, send it my way. Include your name, your YouTube username, and the image. And if you want more content like this, make sure you're subscribed. And again, my name is Nick. I hope you're having a great day. And as always, happy printing.